When it comes to certainly the pitch phase of bidding, one of the most interesting things, because it's set up as a gated process, so you've got the sort of the PQQ has led to the RFP, and if you're successful with the RFP, then you get to pitch. And I think a lot of people treat it very much as, okay, we've just got to get to the next stage, we've just got to get to the next stage. So the focus is always on the bit that you're doing, rather than sort of worrying about a sort of almost a seamless process and journey through the whole thing. Where that impacts as far as the pitch is concerned is sort of severalfold, really, because one of the things we see is often people get very, very short notice of when they've got to come and pitch. So if during the bid process, as they've been pulling the document together, if they haven't thought about the pitch and prepared at least some of that, that impacts in terms of the quality of that final presentation, because they may only get a week's notice. So then suddenly we see everybody running around frantically trying to pull together slides and some sort of story and a pitch team at the last minute. And of course that massively compromises quality. So we see an issue there for sure. But I think also it's about the structure and the messaging of that presentation as well, because most people seem to use the presentation to replay what was in the bid document, which is perfectly sensible because you're trying to get across your key messages, your key differentiation. So can understand that. But because of the sort of the scored nature of bids, actually there's a much bigger opportunity to use the pitch to reclaim some points. So it's about taking a much closer look at the scoring mechanism within the bid, but also reviewing your bid submission prior to creating your pitch to say, okay, well, where have we lost points? Where have we not communicated things as well as we should? So that your pitch becomes more about actually how do we sort of almost plug the gaps? How do we make ourselves score as well as we possibly can, rather than let's just replay all the key messages from the document itself. I think, like so many pitches and presentations, it's about knowing your audience, because you've got to know who's in the room and what their particular specialties and focus is going to be, because you need to make sure that your content is resonating with everybody that's there. So, yeah, the chances are certainly for a big bid submission, people won't have actually looked at everything and read everything and digested it. So you need an element within the presentation that brings it all together, has all of the key messages. But then if you understand the audience well enough and you know the key drivers for all of the individuals, you can begin to pull that out in the presentation to make sure that everybody goes away taking the bits they need to learn from it.